Damn it, Farhan.
Now, back to Willard and Dibs on 95.7 The Game.
I know you're going to say, gosh, you shouldn't be surprised. I'm a little surprised. I'm not surprised that they didn't dance at the highest level. I'm surprised they did nothing.
They didn't dance at all.
They did not dance. They sat this one out. They wallflowered it.
Don't hold the wall.
Don't do that.
It's a Justin Timberlake song.
Remember the Wallflowers?
Yeah.
Bob Dylan's son? It's the lead
that's
singer.
who that was.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Jacob Dylan, right? I think that's
Sure.
Bob Dylan's son.
And when you talk about singer and Bob Dylan, you have to use air quotes.
His son can sing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's an upset.
He cannot.
The apple fell far from the tree.
Right. So Bob can write, Jacob can sing, and everybody can sit around and have the holidays together and enjoy.
Perfect.
Yeah. So Pav's going to join us here in about 20 minutes. We got all kinds of Niners stuff after that. Kruger was at practice. He'll check in, and the good doc is coming up at the top of the hour. We'll ask him about Purdy and Tyro Estrada and more for sure.
Pick a giant, and he's hurt.
No
Disco.
doubt.
We can talk about Di Sclafani, your fave.
We
your
don't
favorito.
have to. We don't have to.
I think I will, just to drive the knife in a little bit deeper.
He's gone. He's not coming back this year.
I'll be back next year.
Maybe.
Well, he's under contract.
That doesn't mean he's going to be back.
You're going to pay him $12 million to say adios?
Maybe.
I saw a tweet from our friend Softy Mahler up in Seattle, and he was talking about he listed 5 Mariners, 4 of whom couldn't even make it to August 1st. And on the list was
A.J. Pollock.
A.J. Pollock.
Yep.
And Tommy LaStella.
Wow.
Forever Mariner.
Yes, the Giants were right on that one. I don't know.
Wrong then right.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him. It's not like he was ever a great hitter, but I mean, he was a productive player for the Angels, the A's. He was, he wasn't great, but anyway, look, there's no other way to sort of assess this than to sort of say it's disappointing. I think this is disappointing for the players on the team. I think it's disappointing for the fans, even if it's right. Do you know what I mean? Like, first of all, the whole deadline, when you look at it from 10,000 feet, was a dud. It was a total dud. Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, the 2 biggest names who move, both of them are well past their prime, and the Mets picked up more than half the money on both and got a couple of prospects back in order to do it. So that was, in the end, those were the big moves on this deadline. You know, I don't know who would you compliment? What team did something that you love?
The Angels.
The Angels?
Yes.
That's interesting.
And the Rangers would be the 2 teams.
The Rangers did, they were aggressive.
I
Sure.
like what the Angels did because they basically see the writing on the wall and they see that the only way that they can possibly keep Shohei Ohtani is by going on a run. So you try to upgrade your roster and you show, hey, Ohtani, look, we're all in on this year. We're all in on the one thing you want more than anything else, and that's to win. And, usually the Angels, you can't win. And I'll use that in Adrian Balboa voice, which is one of my favorite things you do when you say, you can't win. I don't think the Angels can win, but they're trying. And if they go in the playoffs and Shohei gets a taste of that sweet October nectar, maybe he decides to say, that's the only way. They have a prayer to keep him. And your guy, they loaded up. And, I mean, good God, Boch. You talk about Kapler and his ability to manage, and he's a good manager, I think. Bochy is an absolute savant.
Oh, Boch is great. Boch is Boch. He's fantastic.
So I think they look good. And also the Dodgers, this just in, Ryan Yarbrough has been added. They acquired him from Kansas City, so they've got themselves a starting pitcher of some sort. Not a great starter, 4.24 ERA this year, coming off a couple of good outings back-to-back. So
this is the first guy they've gotten this deadline who has a positive WAR.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Back-to-back one-run allowed outings. So
I'm not going to look. They got turned down for Eduardo Rodriguez. So
they had to pivot.
Yeah, put that in your opinion about what the Dodgers did, but in the end, they didn't get him, and I'm totally underwhelmed by what the Dodgers did. I would actually, this is maybe going to sound weird, I don't love what the Giants just did, but if you put it next to what the Dodgers did, I'd rather do what the Giants did. Keep your prospects rather than gathering crap for no reason. And you could say that's what they did with A.J. Pollock, but they didn't give up any prospects to do it. They didn't give up anything. So I don't even know what's going on with that weird deal. Standing pat is boring, and I think it's a bad message to your team, but making deals just to make deals, in my opinion, is even worse. If you were going to make a deal, I'd like it to be a difference maker. I don't think the Dodgers got a difference maker. I don't know if anybody in the entire NL West did. You mentioned the teams who really did. The Rangers did. They're all in the AL West. The Rangers did. I think you can argue that the Angels did, and if Verlander matters to you, then the Astros did.
Well, Arizona picked up a reliever.
Yay.
And they picked up
Tommy Pham.
Oh, yeah, they did. Sweet. Roll your eyes. I love it. Tommy Pham is having a good year.
Nice.
Tommy Pham would be your 5-hitter with the Giants right now.
Yeah, but Tommy Pham's a moron. So,
fine.
Just,
I mean, that's
like,
your
whatever.
opinion.
Yes,
but
it is.
Arizona got better by adding Tommy Pham. Whether or not you think that he's a good clubhouse guy, he clearly wouldn't be here, but Arizona at least added. The Giants sat on their hands, their far hands, and did nothing.
Here's the problem with the San Francisco Giants. Yeah,
I don't even know why I look back anymore.
I don't know either.
And Granny gets so mad.
I know. He'll let you know if he likes it, okay? He'll let you know.
Number 2.
I look at this and I see a real, honest problem with the way that this whole team is being run. There's no answer here. The Giants have a formula that usually works, but it doesn't connect with people. So what do you do there? And I'm not even necessarily telling you which one. I know which one I'd rather do. I'd rather the Giants operate the way they are now than the way the Mets are. The Mets are like, here's $1 billion, and then we'll trade you 4 days later. The Mets have had an embarrassing season. An embarrassing season.
Shame.
To have that payroll and a losing record and ship Verlander and Scherzer out. So I'd rather the Giants do this, but when you're sitting up against the Dodgers and the Padres, it feels like a walking confidence problem for fans. I don't know how you're going to excite them. And the likelihood is probably just going to be another offseason journey of we offered $600 million and didn't get him again. And so then what are you going to tell your fans? Well, we'll win 90 games. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something has got to pop at some point. They're not wrong. They're good at what they do. I bet time will tell that the deals that were just made were bad. The Angels just gave up prospect 2 and 3 for somebody who will start 10 games and probably lose 6 of them. That's the reality. So he's probably right. When he lets these pitchers go, he was wrong with Gausman. Mm-hmm. He was right with Rodon.
Yep.
He's probably right, but it still puts you to sleep.
He was wrong with DeSclafani, and he was mostly wrong with Manaea and Stripling, but the jury's
out.
Still somewhat out.
We did this a couple weeks ago.
We did.
He has been right more than he's been wrong.
He has, and we can look at Correa, and I was running down his numbers during the break just to try to get you to smile because I know your dauber's down a little bit right now.
No, my dauber's not down.
Your dauber should be down.
I'm surprised they did nothing. I didn't think they were going to swing big.
Your dibber's down over there.
No, my dibber's down. My dauber's not down. My dibber's always down.
Dibber's back today. Yesterday was rough. Today's getting better.
Okay, good.
Your dauber's down. Good. And it should be down because you look around and the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks and the Padres, they at least did something. Yep. Now, whether or not they gave up too much for too little, only time will tell. But I look at the Giants now and I look at the Giants from an hour ago, and they're basically the same team. And I look at that same team and I think about this team at its best with a healthy Tyro and with, Haniger and Conforto eventually both back and in the lineup, and your lefty lineup, your righty lineup, and J.D. Davis. And when everything is all put together, is this team good enough to win the World Series? I don't see it. So you're right, Mark. They are building a team to be between 81 and 90 wins each and every year, but they're not exciting, and I don't see this team as a real threat to win it all.
I don't see. I split those 2 points apart. Are they a threat to win it all? It's baseball, so the answer is actually yes.
If they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So right now there are 23 teams that are a threat to win it all.
I'll agree with you that if I sat there and I looked at it on paper, sure, I don't see it. They need to score more runs. The Giants have got to score more runs. And I had hoped that somebody was going to come. When I saw Teoscar Hernandez was linked with the Giants, he didn't go either, by the way. I loved that idea because the Giants have got to score more runs. But if they sat you down and they went, look, we really wanted to, and this is true, by the way, we wanted to acquire a middle infielder who is right-handed, who can swing the bat. That's who we want to acquire. Well, they are. Tyro Estrada is being acquired this week. So it's not, as always, it's not that what the Giants are doing is harebrained. It's not. Like, you can sit in a room with these people and they can talk it out with you, and you'll nod your head and you'll go, okay, I get it. It makes sense. But somewhere involved in this is you need to connect with fans. You're an entertainment entity, and you're going to have to come through with some of these free agents. And these guys are going to have to come up from the minor leagues and not look like minor leaguers, and that's going to have to all happen at once. You know, so that's why it's frustrating. It's frustrating to look at this right now, and I bet frustrating for the players themselves to look at this right now and feel like, well, we got to just keep going it alone. With all of these innings that our relievers are logging, just got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Got to keep the other team to 2 runs every night and hope that that's good enough as they go into an August where they will play a total of, outside of the A's this weekend, 0 teams with a losing record.
And in the meantime, it's Jelly up, and it's Diaz down, then it's Diaz back, and then it's shuffling Keaton win, and whoever else, it's bodies in and bodies out. I just think that's a little bit of a chicken approach. I think that this organization is afraid to make the big swing and the big swing and a miss, and so it's all these micro deals, and you try to improve on the margins. At some point, you got to roll the dice.
Well, but what does that mean?
That means maybe trade a couple of prospects for a hitter who can come in and help you.
But who?
You could have gotten DeYoung for just one prospect was the price.
But who?
Blue Jays got a shortstop hurt, and they went out and they got a shortstop.
Right.
And the Giants have a shortstop issue.
Do they?
I think so.
See, that's
Brandon
the
Crawford
thing.
can play 3 days a week, and he's not really playing that great.
I mean,
Casey Schmidt can't hit.
You're not even
Luciano is
what
wet
about Luciano?
behind the ears.
Yeah, he's wet behind the ears. Maybe he rakes. I mean, he's looked pretty good since he came up.
5 games in or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, the competing opinions are most Giants fans did not want them to deplete the farm system, but they also want the Giants to swing big. You can't do both. I wanted the Giants to swing, not swing big. I didn't want the top 5 prospects touched, and they didn't. But I also didn't want them to stand pat and do absolutely nothing.
Is Brandon Belt the GM? Because that's what it felt like. Looked at a lot of pitches.
Well, sometimes that gets you on base.